Hello.
Hello. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Tired.
It,
Tired.
it's it's one of those. It's one of those kind of lazy Thursdays.
I haven't been lazy today. I've been
Oh,
running since I got up. But anyway, I hope all of you out there are doing well. Welcome to the commentary zone. And today we are talking about The Real Housewives of New Jersey, season 11, episode 5, Kiss My Peach. Um, I have a quick summary of the episode since I think you still like my summaries, and then you can give me an overall impression of this mess.
all right.
Joe and Melissa are down at their shore house with the family. Um, Jen has a barbecue at the pool with her kids. Dolores pretends to be in a relationship with David. Um, Let's see. Oh, then they have a birthday dinner for Joe, where more family comes in. Teresa wants her peach kissed. Ew. Margaret meets with her ghostwriter to start her book. Teresa and Joe finally signs the divorce papers. And
hmm
then Teresa hosts a pool party. Um,
This
yeah.
seems this seems to be all about the more so all about the gathering. So do we want to start with Jennifer? I guess the first gathering was Jennifer's. Was it Jennifer's? As I recall.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was
She's doing the
interesting.
barbecue. Yeah. I didn't
Um,
know her kids were so
Brady.
rude. Well, yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I just don't understand these kids. Like, but here's the thing: I'm not gonna completely blame the kids because they can only get away with what you let them. So you let them talk back to you, talk about know what they're not gonna do at that age. They gonna keep doing it. So I can't have any pity.
Okay. Well, no, I agree with that. It just came as a shock to me. I didn't realize. I guess I hadn't seen like her with all of her kids together because I kind of
Mm-hmm.
stopped watching this. Like I kind of stopped watching a lot of shows. So
Gotcha.
this is my first interaction with all of those kids together. First of all, I didn't realize she had so many kids, and then second, I didn't realize they were so rude. Um,
But in fairness,
mm,
look at her.
true,
So
true,
so you
true.
can't be too surprised about their attitude. Like if the mom has the attitude, kind of it's fine. And the kids are always around her mostly. It seems like. So I'm not too shocked with their attitudes at all. I can't sit here in front.
But you said
There's
she has nannies, right?
yeah.
That must be a rotating door
Oh
of
yeah.
nannies.
They have like, I think she said what 2 or 3 nannies.
But I don't see any nanny putting up with that kind of attitude.
I mean, but that's what happens when you have nannies for some reason. If we think about as we watch these shows, the kids seem to love the nannies and respect the nannies more than the parents.
Oh,
I mean, that's been a consistent thing.
okay.
So I'm not
So
too
what
surprised.
you saying is that them kids know who to mouth off to.
Right.
And it's Jennifer. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Um, so her sister wants to go to Turkey to meet the brother's new baby, and
Oh, I'm so
she
happy
wants
about
to
that.
take the dad, who the baby is named after. But Jennifer's concerned that her mother will be upset that she's not going.
Well, why can't they all go but on 2 separate flights? That's the way I would do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then y'all wouldn't stay together. Y'all would stay at different places. That's all.
But then that would require Jen, or wait, does she have another sibling that can take the mom? Because if the sister's taking the dad, because the issue
Right.
is they don't want the parents to travel alone, which they're in
Right.
advanced age. So then Jen would have to take her mom.
Right.
Can she? She's filming.
I mean, that could be part of the storyline. Why not? That's a great storyline. Oh, this could be the cast trip. Quit playing with me. See,
But
see how we do that?
wait, it's during COVID. How are they flying anywhere?
It doesn't matter. It's reality TV. So yeah, Jen can make this part of her storyline and get that trip paid for. Don't play with me. That's how you do it.
Oh my God, you're a mess. Okay. So they'll figure it out. I'm sure that Jennifer will make this her storyline. Am I interested? No. Okay, so moving on to Dolores. She's at David's house and she tells David to come home. She's got food. Um, is David really into Dolores and is Dolores really into David?
David likes a single life, and Dolores doesn't understand that. Let's just call a thing a thing. He wants to
And
be sing. He wants to be singling. He wants to be singly dating Dolores.
oh Lord. Okay.
He's not looking for that down home commitment. That's not what he's looking for. He's not looking to be married, and that's really what it comes down to. He's happy with the
So
relationship the way it is.
he wants her in the house as a
Right.
convenience, but he doesn't want to marry her or propose to her.
No, some men just don't want to be married, and he strikes
Hmm.
me as one of those men who does not want to be married. I really, really think he loves Dolores and cares for Dolores, but he he's a like if it's not broke, don't fix it. And she's traditional and all this stuff, and she wants to be married in the house, all that good stuff.
Hmm.
I see both sides, but my thing is, if you're happy and the relationship is good, why mess with it? Because I've seen couples like have great relationships, but as soon as they got married, it just went down the tubes. Because it's easy to stay together when you want to, but
Hmm.
it's harder to stay together when you feel like you have to.
Yeah,
And I
that
think he's
makes
smart. And
sense.
I honestly, if I'm being honest, David is smart enough to understand that since Dolores is pressuring him, if he wound up marrying him, if he wound up marrying her, he would resent her. He
But
would.
here's everything you're saying is making sense. And however, when I look back at the interactions with Dolores and David, and then I look at the interactions with Dolores and Frank, I mean Frank and David, they don't match. Like he doesn't ever seem happy with Dolores.
I think what it is because it's coming is because she's trying to give him an ultimatum. And I'm sorry, when you're an adult, like especially when you're older in years, you're not trying to have no one give you an ultimatum. Like, well,
Hmm.
if you don't do this, I'm not going to do this. Like, no one really wants that.
But how come? Okay, I know David is a very busy doctor. He's actually an OBGYN. He's always on call.
Mm-hmm.
Babies don't have a timetable. I get
Mm-mm.
it. But how he could find time to go on a date with Frank, but he can't find time to go on a date with Dolores.
But they went on that date while the girls were out of town. They were at Lake George when they did that.
Okay, but he finds time for Frank.
But it depends on what day and like what his schedule is like. But I understand what you're saying. But he's like always has an emergency with Dolores, just like Bill always has an emergency. Is
We're
that what
gonna
you're
get
saying?
to that. We're gonna
Is that what
get
you're
to
saying?
we're gonna get to that. That's what
If
I'm leading into. Okay. So
okay,
I just need you to help me make sense of this mess. All right, so we're done. They make a pact. They're gonna spend more time together. Um, and she wants him to show her that he wants her there in the house, which I kind of understood.
yeah, I think my
'Cause
whole thing is go ahead.
no,
Sorry.
I just think that that's part of my not connecting with them because I don't think he makes an effort.
Mm.
At
Do you
least we don't
think?
see it on TV.
I think you're onto something because I think if he like showed um if he showed her a little bit more attention, she may back off a little. So I can go with you on that one.
Mhm. Yeah, like if he showed up with a bouquet of flowers and not a big bouquet, like even if it was like a nice little hand-picked bouquet from the florist or something, chocolates or whatever she likes to do, like set her up with a day at the spa. He doesn't even have to be there. He just has to get his assistant to make the arrangements. Like
Correct.
I don't see him doing that. And granted, I understand he's a busy doctor. I get it. He got better things to do. But if you want Dolores, like how you say you do,
Mm-hmm.
like make an effort.
Show some
Say
initiative
something.
towards her.
Yeah,
Something.
say something.
Even if
I
it's a
don't know.
front. Even if it's a front, do it.
Yes, yes. Okay, so they have their pack. Then we go back to Melissa and Joe, who are down on the Jersey Shore. They're going out to dinner to celebrate his 46th birthday. Her sisters and their spouses are there, and Teresa comes. Um, this was a nice little dinner, I thought. That restaurant was super crowded, but
Just a smidge.
I just felt COVID coming through the screen at me, but I digress. Um, who would have thought that Antonia was 15?
She's been. It
She
makes
was
sense. She's been there.
little.
Yeah.
I don't know. I missed a lot with this show. But yeah, I thought Melissa's birds and bees talk was kind of weird. I wouldn't want her to talk to me about the birds and the bees, but okay. And if your kid been going with this boy for 2 years now, ain't you a little late for that birds and bees talk?
That's what I was thinking. I mean, that ship has sailed. She can probably tell you. She can probably tell you how it's done.
But it was cute when Joe freaked out, though.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I understand why fathers freak out, and I've had to explain this to other people. I think fathers will freak out because when you have daughters, it's they are the ones who can get pregnant. And if
Mm-hmm.
she gets pregnant, the dude can just walk up and leave and be like, okay, like pretend nothing exists. But it's the girl that has to take on all the emotional stress, all of the physical stress. She's got to she's generally when, in my opinion, from what I've seen, when teenage girls get pregnant, they take the bulk of the blame.
Uh-huh.
So if I had daughters, yeah, no,
See,
uh-uh,
I appreciate how you think about this because for me, the way how I saw that was that Joe was thinking of all the nastiness that he does to Melissa, and he's like, I don't want nobody doing it to my little girl. She's a nun. See, that's how I took that because he you know,
that's
because
the other.
right
That's
before
yeah,
that. There's a scene. No, it's afterwards. There's a scene when right before they go to Teresa's party, and he says something about how he gonna hit that shit before he go. Like he's a dog. He
right.
overtly talks about sex and his peen from the time he got on this
Mhm.
show. Can you imagine someone like him going with his daughter?
Yeah, he knows. I think he kind of knows. Like they grew up there too, so they kind of know what the boys are, the guys are like.
Mm-hmm.
How yeah, he's like, nah, I'm cool. But again, if I were a father, I would think more along the lines, if my daughter accidentally gets pregnant. That's the way I look at things because it's a tough road out there for these young girls who get pregnant by accident because they take on everything. Because you have to realize when
Mm-hmm.
the it's always the girl's reputation that takes a hit. Let's be
Mm-hmm.
honest.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, it's her fault. Why did she let him do it? She's a
Mm-hmm.
hoe, a slut, and all that stuff. And the guy's just like, oh, you can handle that.
The guy can actually walk away, which a
That's what
lot
I'm
of
saying. Like,
times
that's
they
what I'm saying. That's
do.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Oh,
Oh,
you
yeah,
can.
you can handle that. Means like, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. I totally agree. Um,
I think
but
I always
again,
think. I
mm-hmm.
always think. Sorry to interrupt, but I always
No,
think once your kids take sex ed, you need to have that conversation with your child. I don't care what they teach you in the little school books, what they tell you at school. The parents need to, once they are enrolled in sex education, it's the parents' job to teach their kids about sexual education. I mean everything.
mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
as soon what you do is what I would do if I had a daughter. And ladies, don't take this the wrong way, or you can disagree. It's cool, but I would honestly look into getting birth control for my daughter if I
Mm-hmm.
had a daughter. And if I had a son, like you know what, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you not to do it. Here's some condoms, making sure you use them,
Yeah,
and keep the box hidden because I don't need to see how many of them are missing.
that's very true. Sorry, I'm just going through some of these
Yeah, of course.
comments. I'm so sorry, guys. I forgot to flip to the page with the comments. Thanks for chiming in, y'all. I really appreciate it. Yep. Start that talk early. Oh yes, Lisa, yes. That's I was trying to remember what he called his peen. Joe has talked about Tarzan for 11 plus years now. That's so true.
Hmm.
Oh my God. All right. So where do we go next? Oh wait. Again, Teresa brings up the Gia thing, and it's so one-sided. She only says, well, Jackie said da 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 about Gia. But then someone has to jump in, like Melissa in this case, and say it was an analogy. And Melissa's sisters are like, oh, okay. Like everybody with a lick of common sense
Right.
understands this, with the exception of Teresa.
But she said people with a look of common sense, so therefore Teresa will not understand. Next. She just aggravates me because this just lets you know she really has nothing going on. Like
Mm-hmm.
zero. But you're still
Mm-hmm.
holding on to this one little bit. Let it go.
Well, she has this, and she wants to get her peach licked. She's fixated on their childhood friend who she keeps on calling the pool boy,
Mhm.
but he's not really a pool boy, isn't he, in construction?
Right. And I'm
Whatever.
sorry. Um, where I come from, no man likes to be called boy in any shape or form.
Yes,
It's
I agree with you
yeah,
on
that's
that.
not something because where I'm from, she got cussed out. Mm,
Yeah, it's kind of demoralizing and insulting.
it is.
But unless Tony is happy with it, okay.
But
Um,
what it does when you, for me, when you use terms of that nature,
mhm.
you're using it as an insult, and you're just saying, "Oh, he's just a pool boy." Like what? No, look, he's in construction. Don't. And
Yes.
you're. I'm like, ma'am, like you come at me. I'm like, well, Felicia Fallon, I'm gonna need you to sit down somewhere. Yeah,
Mm,
I'm gonna hurt your feelings because if you're gonna call me pool boy, you're gonna be Felicia Fallon. How do you want to do it? Where do you want to go with that?
yeah. Yeah. Okay, so Teresa then mentions that she's going to be hosting a pool party later on, I guess, that week. Um, and Joe asked her as a birthday present to him to invite Jackie. Okay, I personally would not have done it in a group text.
Right.
And they were going to include Michelle, the realtor, but she's getting a separate text. Why not send Jackie a separate text? I,
Right.
I, I think it was just mismanaged from the beginning.
Real quick. Lisa, I
Mhm.
agree, but I also think Jackie knew exactly what she was doing. She did it intentionally and not. Oh yeah, Jackie did that. Yeah, Jackie definitely knew what she was doing. She's like, you know what?
Mhm.
I won't give you the chance to apologize. You're not gonna do it, so yep, I'm gonna hurt you, like you hurt me. Since you ain't got no husband, I'm gonna go for the next best thing, which is your adult daughter.
And I think it also was a last resort. Like she was asking every which way she knew how, asking for an apology. And
Right.
when she didn't get it, then she had to pull this out, because then maybe then Teresa would understand how impactful this rumor was
Hmm.
on her and her family. But yeah, common
But the
sense.
thing is, the thing is this: it's like when you get into these verbal um confrontations, you need to be like armed. Like, and Teresa's never armed. So Jackie just basically just verbally eviscerated you, and you're upset about it because she's not backing down. That's all it really is with Teresa, and people need to understand this. The only reason why she's really mad at Jackie, because one, Jackie does not need that check, and she knows it, and Jackie's not afraid of her, and Jackie's highly intelligent. So those three things combined is just something Teresa does not like, and it's not something Teresa's really used to. Teresa's
Mhm.
used to having people on the show who are desperate for a check, looking for relevance, looking for fame, and will do anything to get it. Jennifer wants to be famous. That's why she's on the show. Uh, Margaret's there because she got renovations on the house. She got to get that together. Love Margaret though.
She's promoting
Uh,
her book too. That's
she
the
won't. She,
newest thing. Yeah.
product placement. Good
And
job.
she had to get through that lawsuit in order to do the house, didn't she?
Right.
Yeah.
And
That
Dolores
tied up a lot of her funds.
and Dolores is there because she's been on the show in the past season. She's a fan favorite, and she's there to be Teresa's backup. So
Not
that's
really
no reason.
backup. I would
Sidekick.
say no, the explainer. I find that
Mm.
Dolores explains Teresa, like, because she doesn't make sense to most of us. So
Oh,
Dolores always
translator.
comes on. Have you ever seen? She goes, "Okay, Teresa and I were raised in the old school Italian family." Like she always tries to explain away Teresa's stupidity.
So she's
She
Teresa's
really does.
translator. Translator got it.
Yes.
And Melissa, I think here's the thing. Can we call a thing a thing? I think the only reason Melissa is on the show is so Joe can be on the show
So who could be
consistently.
on the show, Joe?
Joe Gorga, because we really don't. If we think about, it, we don't really care about Melissa. If we're being
Look,
honest, we don't really care about her.
in the early days, though, when they were both married to the Joes, I
Hmm.
think Melissa was an irritant to Teresa because Melissa actually made her husband happy, whereas Teresa wasn't happy in her marriage.
Right, but we don't need
So,
Melissa now, though. I
no,
mean,
we don't, but she's kind of cute and
no, but
and
we need. I'm sorry. I agree. I just see where you're
and she's
going.
an actual wife.
True, I understand that. So there's other wives on the show too.
Mhm.
But people who would you rather see on screen, Joe Gorga or Melissa? For me, I'd rather see Joe
Oh,
Gorga.
Joe. But I think that they pair very well because who else is he going to take Tarzan to?
No, that's true, but we don't need him. We don't need her for that. Like she's just on the show so we get more Joe Gorga. She's more like a friend of the show to me. She's a friend of Joe Gorga. There we go. Like
Oh,
what they need to do,
yes, Trey
um,
duo.
fair. What they need to do really is have a spin off, The Real Husbands of New Jersey. I would watch that, and then
Yes.
they need to have. I might DM Andy Cohen. The Real Exes of Atlanta. It could be Apollo, Peter, maybe Eric Snow, Matt, Walter. I mean, and Todd could be a friend of the show, and Cordell. I
Okay,
mean,
wait a minute. Did
I
you
mean,
are you saying this because you saw the video with Peter and what's his face?
it's
Apollo?
it's that with the combination of like the husbands on New Jersey are so entertaining,
Are you
while
gonna
the
let Dennis
exes.
on there?
Well, Dennis is still on the house. We need him on Atlanta with Portia, and then if we bring the real exes back, we can get our Phaedra fix.
You gonna
See
let Phaedra on the Exit show?
the real exes of Atlanta. Yes, she's an ex. She's an ex of Apollo because as long as Candy's on Atlanta, we're not gonna get Phaedra back. Just saying. I'm telling you, it's a
Oh
plan.
my God. You're a mess. You're a mess. Okay. So, where do we so they do the text and they invite everybody,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. We don't even care at this point. Next we see Margaret. Oh my God, this house is still under renovation. I feel so bad for her. Um, but she invites her ghostwriter over. What's the ghostwriter's name? Emily. And so Emily starts asking her questions,
Mm-hmm.
getting the content to write the book for Margaret, which is really good. And we're like, I think this is the first time we're really getting like an in-depth look at who Margaret is. Um, and I'm interested to learn more. I hope we learn everything that's in the book so I don't even have to like read it.
Exactly. I like Margaret a lot. She's funny. She's open.
Hmm.
Um, she's. I understand why she's on the show in her first season, but I like her so much more now because she is so open. She's all, look, this is how my life was. There's no smoke and mirrors here. It wasn't the best. My mother did the best she could. It was tumultuous, and she's just so
Hmm.
open with that.
Yeah. Oh, Trey wants you to add Don Juan to your cast.
I mean, Don Juan could be a friend of the show.
Mm-hmm. He knows all the mess.
Right, but then Trey also said she's all no. We need the good Judies of and let it star Derek J,
Oh
Smith,
yes,
Wilmerson, Dwight,
that would be wonderful. Oh my
and
God.
and we need to add Funky Dineva to that mix too. That would be a show.
Really?
Yes,
I don't
because then
watch
because
it, so I'm
because
not
then
gonna say
because
nothing.
then we can get Dr. Heavily as a friend because that whole
Nice.
show would be a mess. I'm I'm going for TV ratings here. I'm not going for who you like or who you don't like,
I think we need to move this to VH1.
right?
Oh
Or
my
Zeus.
God. Or no, I can't find Zeus. VH1 I can find.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so I do want to highlight, like, how many times has Margaret been married?
Did she
Is
say
it
three?
2 or 3?
I always thought Joe was her second, but it sounds like she's well. She only mentioned the first husband, Jan.
Jan. Okay,
Yeah,
so this Joe that she's married to is her second
second. That's the
of
way
the
I took
2.
it. Yes.
Okay. All right. I was a little confused because for a while there I thought she had 3 husbands, but she only had 2. Okay. But it's good that she waited till she was in her 40s when she had her first healthy adult relationship, and that was with Joe, not her first husband, Jan. Um, what does she mean that she didn't know how Joe was going to handle the book? Doesn't he know that she's writing it?
And that's my thing.
That was odd to me, but okay. Next, we see Teresa on a video call with Joe in Italy, and he's telling her that he signed the divorce papers. Yay. Um,
I'm actually happy for both of them. They can both
mhm,
move on with their lives.
mhm.
Gina Maxey, I think her kid was by the first husband because I remember her saying she got married young and had her kid right away.
Yeah, because she got married at 24, I think she said.
Hmm. But you know what was bad? What killed me when she said like he would say she would spend too much money. She was hiding packages in the trunk. I'm like, that's it. That's when you know you have there's an issue there.
Oh my God. I've helped a friend of mine hide stuff from her husband.
Okay, so she raised her first husband's children and then cheated on him with the second husband. Okay, so Joe is her third
Oh.
marriage. Got it. Thanks, Yanni.
Oh, so
There,
Joe
there, there,
isn't the one?
no, no.
Why
That's
did
the way it
I
sounds.
think Joe was the one that she was doing the cheaterization with? I'm so confused. Yanni,
Me
help
too.
me. This is what happens when you miss seasons.
I know, I know,
Um,
I know, I know. From what I recall in chat, let me know if I'm wrong. Um, Joe was it Joe married when they got together?
yeah, she was married too.
No, no, Joe was married. Were they both married at the same time? Is that how it
I
happened?
thought so.
Because I remember
Gosh,
her
she a
saying she
whole mess.
repeated. Because I remember she said she repeated Marge Senior's mistakes that she got with a married man, and Jennifer tried to call her out on it.
And she had one of her own with Jan, and then she married Joe. Okay. Yes, both married. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. All
Okay.
right. Cool, cool. All right. So 2 marriages, and she got with Joe while she was still married to Jan, and Joe was married to somebody else. Okay. Perfect. All right. What would we do without you? Her current husband was remodeling their home. Oh.
Oh, I forgot. Okay. Well,
Okay.
she loves some free.
So now that makes sense what she said yesterday, that she got better service when she
She
was
was the
a
girlfriend.
girlfriend. Oh. Oh, Yanni, you messed up. He was fixing her house and ended up fixing more than just the house. Oh my God. Okay, so let's see. Joe's on the phone with Melissa, and he's talking about manhandling her before they go to the party. And then they bring up Michelle and her husband. I can't remember the husband's name right now.
John.
John. Okay. And that sets off Joe as if he needs much to go off. Then you see Jen calling her husband, Bill, and he says he's going to be late getting to the pool party. Now, he said he had an emergency, right? What kind of emergency did he have?
I don't know. Like like we were talking about before. He's a plastic surgeon, so I mean, outside of a boob like having issues, I don't see what kind of emergency he could do. I just don't. I've never heard of an emergency outside of maybe a nasal collapse or like a boob doing something they shouldn't be doing.
Here's my thing. I was watching Heidi Spills the TV before our live, and she said, and a couple people in her chat said that they heard him saying that somebody went into labor. So then there was this dispute whether he was an OBGYN or plastic surgeon. Heidi thought he was a plastic surgeon. And David was the OBGYN. It got a little confused, but we determined that he was a plastic surgeon. So then my question was, isn't plastic surgery considered an elective, and weren't most of those surgeries canceled last year? So I don't know. But here's the thing I don't know. It was just very odd to me. I didn't hear it. But that's what they were talking about. Did anybody hear Bill say that his emergency was a labor, like somebody went into labor at the hospital?
Bill's a plastic surgeon. David's the OBGYN, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, because that's why I give more slack to David not being there, because he is a OBGYN, and babies are not on anybody's timetable but their own. But plastic surgeons, it's probably on the end. An elected. No, but Yanni, weren't they filming this summer in Jersey? This past summer in 2020? Is a double board certified plastic and reconstruction surgeon. Oh, Dark Magician. Oh, that's you. Why'd you change your name?
But I didn't want. A friend suggested it, and I wanted to.
We already know you as Jamal.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
I swear, if I didn't see the lady in the dress, I wouldn't have known it was you. I know it's not a lady in a dress. Don't yell at me. But he might be a regular surgeon too. Oh, he might be a regular surgeon too. Okay. Well, it was all hands on deck last year, I guess.
Yeah, it was. It really was. So.
Yeah, but he didn't look too pressed.
He's double boarded, right? Yeah, he's double board certified. So. Yeah.
I don't know. He eventually got to the party. He didn't seem too late. I guess his surgery was only a few minutes. Whatever.
That was a quick emergency, though. That was a quick emergency. I'm sorry.
It was. It really was. And he didn't seem very pressed. And the top was down on his sports car. Like
he looked refreshed. Did he stop at home and take a shower or something?
Yeah. But yes, but surgery was before, maybe even January, February 20. What surgery? They were filming in the summer. Yanni, help me. Plastic surgery work on injuries like dog bites, etc. to the face to minimize scarring. Yeah, true. This is true. Reconstructive surgery after a lot of surgeries. So then technically it's not an emergency, it's a scheduled procedure.
Honestly, we just think Bill's cheating. This is called thing.
I didn't want to come out and say that, but I'm glad that you did. Thank you.
Yeah. In our opinion, it just comes across when you combine his odd emergency with her excessive drinking. Yeah, just
Mhm.
saying. I might as well just
Mhm.
say it. I think a lot of the viewers are thinking it. So based on behaviors on both parties, it's a reasonable assumption.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that he had already done the surgery before taping. Okay. So by the time they had the call, they were just fibbing around. He had already done it. Okay, that makes
Okay.
sense. That makes sense. Editing, stop doing stupidness so that
Right.
me and Jamal have to overthink everything. God. Okay, so we also see a side clip of Dolores telling Frank about the John issue and Joe Gorga. Um, Joe asks, "Why are they do?" No, Frank asks, "Why are they doing that? Hasn't anybody ever seen Joe get mad?" Meaning, why are they inviting Melissa, Michelle, and John to this party?
For
And
production,
mm?
production,
Oh yeah,
and Michelle's storyline. Okay.
I don't know. It's just really weird. Where do we get to now? Can we just skip to? Okay, so we're at the party. Teresa's
Beautiful.
finishing her setup. Joe and Melissa arrive. Um, Everybody starts to get there. Michelle and John arrive, and Joe wastes no time. He jumps up and he's like, "John, I want to talk to you."
Come here. Come here. Hey, but my thing is this: John. I'm sure John expected that because he knew what was said. And I like the fact that they talked it out. There was a misunderstanding, and they were able to put it aside. Like, you know what? It is what it is at this point.
That whole scene was staged. I'm sorry.
Well,
I
of
don't
course it was staged.
care.
I
This was
mean,
because at the end he goes, "Now can Michelle list your sister's house?" She already had that listing
right.
signed because she brought in stagers.
Staging.
Ugh, I'm so irritated with this.
But
If Michelle
Debbie,
shows up next season, I'm not reviewing this show.
we have to understand. Like, of course it was a setup because it was a setup that they got even invited to the pool party, in the first place. Because why would you invite someone who has issues with your brother?
Well, Teresa's known for doing that because she didn't give a shit about Joe.
Well, let's not talk about that. Um, yeah, we understand.
Wait, and what did you think? Like, I thought this was a really nice thing. Dolores is inviting everyone over to her house later on in the week to celebrate that she's getting an award for breast cancer awareness. Like, this is why I like Dolores because she does a lot in the community that a lot of times is not highlighted on this show. So I'm glad that they're finally doing this for her because I think the last time she was working with um, kids at risk or something like
Something like
that.
that. Right.
Yeah. And I kind of like to see that extracurricular activity, be it your professional side or your philanthropic side. Like this is why I like Dolores, other than being a translator.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I like and this franchise is it's more family oriented, so
Mhm. Mhm.
that's what makes it stand out. So these things will be highlighted a little bit more because they are more in tune, like, with their community because it's such a family area. In my
It
in
was
my
it was a
women's
women's abuse
abuse
center.
shelter.
Yes, it was a women's abuse center. Like it's always a relevant cause, and close to the heart for with her. And I know she might not do a lot, but that goes a long way for a watcher like me. It makes me
But
put up with the rest of the BS.
but she's basically Cynthia 2.0. She's just a better version of Cynthia.
Cynthia doesn't do anything other than stuff for Cynthia. I don't think Cynthia's charitable.
That's why I said she's Cynthia 2.0. Like,
No.
she doesn't do the most. She's not like the center. She'll never be like the centerpiece of a
Mhm.
storyline, but she's there as a counterbalance to the other craziness that goes on with the other ladies. but it's just Dolores does more. Dolores has a
Yeah,
filter
because
on the other
I'm here
side.
thinking Cynthia's kind of like tits on a bull, useless.
No, she's the thing with
Mm,
Cynthia is this: she's that one person you need to be calm. She's like that one person you need to balance. She really balances the show, and that's what people don't understand. You can't have all the cast members be cuckoo for cocoa puffs, running around doing the most. You get sick. It
mhm,
gets overwhelming.
mhm.
Does when Cynthia comes on the screen, am I excited for her? Not too much, but when she's with her family, like Noelle, Mal, like I like her in those scenes. I just don't really like her with the other ladies. It just doesn't work with the other ladies. That's just my opinion.
I like her with Noelle.
She's hilarious, and I like her with Mal too. Because Mal just Mal pulls no, and I love it.
But Mal's comes off as jealousy, whereas Noelle's shade of Cynthia is like super cute.
Mhm.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, Lisa Candy is the charitable one. Yeah.
Like I said, if Candy would ever go behind this, I would hope within the next season or two, Candy goes behind the scenes to production and produces the Real Housewives of Atlanta. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, you and
I
I
think she would
discussed
be
this.
phenomenal. Yeah.
Yes, she should create her own production company if she doesn't already have one, not Todd's production company. And she should produce Atlanta.
And what I would do, Candy, if you're listening, I'm sorry what happened to you back in season 8 or 9, whichever season it was. But what you need to do is start your own production company and hire Carlos King.
Do you
I'm just
think she
saying.
would ever do that?
Candy is about a check at the end of the day. So if it's gonna make her money and some good coin, I think she would do it. Just
Okay.
saying. Just saying.
All right. So uh oh, Joe asked Teresa what she's wearing, if she's wearing that for Tony. Um She's like, no, I'm wearing it for me. I did not like the macrame cover up. I like the bathing suit, but I don't know, grandma's knitting
Hmm.
circle cover up, I really wasn't feeling that.
No, she didn't need it.
Yeah. Let's see. So the boys get their business sorted out. The house can be listed.
Hmm.
And we kind of start seeing Jen drinking a lot, like
Hmm.
drinking anything.
Hmm.
Bill shows up, but I don't really like. I think they had one interaction when he gets
Hmm.
there, and she's cut loose, and he's with the fellas. He's not really paying attention to her, but Margaret's husband seems to be counting, and so is Margaret. Like, Margaret starts to get really concerned as the day grows on. The ladies start playing pool pong, if I've got it right.
Hmm.
And of course, Jen is front and center. She's taking shots like nobody's business. They finish it, they get out of the pool, and Jen is just incoherent on the ground. She's making an executive decision to not drink anymore, but it's too late.
Right.
And Margaret comes over super concerned. And she's like, we need to get her out of here. And you
Oh
hear,
yeah.
this is such shady editing. You hear the audio of it sounded like Joe Gorga saying to Bill, go get your wife.
Right.
And he is so not concerned because while she's in the pool doing the shots, he's like, oh yeah, one more and she'll be good. And Frank turns to him and goes, no, she doesn't need any more.
Right.
How's everybody realizing that Jen is wasted? And the doctor, her husband,
No concern.
yeah, it's like it's not even happening, or he's condoning to get her even more
Or
drunk.
or he's like, oh, this is just a Tuesday.
The- uh,
because he wasn't shocked
No.
by her behavior. I mean, he wasn't shocked by her behavior. Like he's seen this before.
But
Like he was
that's
so numb, but he
crazy.
was so numb to it that he was like, oh, okay. And the simple fact that he acted like he wasn't aware, like she was completely wasted, was let me know a couple of things.
Marcia, does Margaret drink? Do you know if Margaret drinks? Maybe that's why she's hyper aware of drunkenness. Margaret
Lisa
doesn't
says,
drink
Mark,
very often, and Candy doesn't drink at all. Okay, okay. Um, this was a scary scene for me because in the teasers for this scene, it seemed like Jen really cracked her face on the pool deck. I ain't gonna lie.
oh, I could tell she didn't because her knees were down.
It
So
it
what
was
happens? What
it was
happens?
scary though.
I just yeah. If you're looking at it, yeah, but what it was like since she went down to her knees, like
Mm.
she didn't fall forward. What she went down to her knees and then she just bent over. I was like, okay, she didn't hit her head. But yeah, the fact that it seemed like the other men were more concerned for Bill's wife than Bill was is a telling tale for me. So they bear watching.
Yeah. Bill finally comes over, grabs his well, not grabs her, but picks her up because she really can't even walk at this point.
No, 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 no walking.
And yet he takes her out. And the other men, so these men in Jersey are so gossipy, nosy. Joe, the two Joes, Margaret's husband and Melissa's husband, they go running to help him carry her because I guess well she's dead weight now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That
Yeah,
one. That like 130 feels about like 220.
yeah, and Frank, you see Frank saying, "Oh, let me go and help him carry her." Like they're used to carrying this Aiden family because they show a clip of when they got Bill drunk and had to carry him home. Ooh. So yeah, they put her in the car. Beautiful car. And Melissa comes out and she's laughing at Jen.
Yeah,
That
she's
was
so wrong.
petty. That was
Right.
petty. And before they can make it out the front gate, she's already vomiting in this poor man's car.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. When I saw Jen was okay, I mean okay, she no major injuries. I was more concerned about Bill's upholstery than I was Jen. I'm sorry.
Yes. And he had that beautiful tan upholstery. I think they said it was a Maserati. The engine was
Oh
purring.
yeah,
And
I
she
was like,
went, "Bleh."
right. I'm like that's toasted. I'm like that's done.
I
It's
don't
poor
care how
upholstery.
much detailing you do. Like, I think you'll always smell a tinge of vomit every time you turn your head like this way or that. Like, and it's on film too. Who's gonna want to buy that car in the resale
Yeah.
market?
If it had been me, I might have put her in an Uber and then just drove behind the Uber. Like I'd have done something because yeah, his poor upholstery. You
Thanks,
could tell
FM.
but you could tell that was that good like Italian leather too.
Yeah, that was a beautiful car, very expensive car. I ugh. And then he's got to deal with that when he gets home because he got to put it in the shower, clean it off, make sure there's a bucket near the bed.
Hmm.
Ugh. How much you want to bet he just dumps her off and tells the nannies to look after her and then he leaves?
No, because he's got to carry her in, make sure she's okay. I mean, he's a doctor, so he's gonna make sure she's okay.
If you say so. The nannies know CPR.
True, but still,
Thanks, you guys, for all of the positive feedback. We really appreciate it. We know that we're, not the funniest or the most gimmicky channel. We just talk about, the crap that we see. And we are so glad that you guys show up to join us.
yeah. Thank you so much. We
Yeah.
just basically what we try to do is give our commentary, but we're pretty brutally honest with what we see because we're like, this is what you show me, so this is what I'm going to talk about. So yeah,
Hmm.
thank you so much, and thank you for your guys' like backstory because sometimes we forget seasons. here and there. You guys remind us
Well,
what happened.
in my case, I haven't watched, so I need a lot of fill-in work. And you guys are the best. Oh my God, FM lost both my parents to COVID
Oh,
and my dogs and my. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, FM. I'm so sorry. Oh, well, any little thing, if you can find any sort of giggles in this messy show, we really are grateful for that. And I'm sending you lots of prayers and lots of hugs. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Ay, ay,
so do you think?
ay.
I have
It's
a
been a
question. Do you
rough
think
year
we're
for
at
a lot of people.
exactly like hoping this year, this 2021 is goes so much better. I mean, things are slowly turning around, but we still
Yeah,
need people to do what they need to do, and do it well, and do it right, and do it well. Like think about other people before you think about yourself. But back
yeah,
to this recap
sorry.
real quick. No worries. Do we think we're finally gonna get past this Teresa Jackie thing after next episode?
Uh, Probably not.
Okay,
Probably not. They don't have anything else to
fair.
talk about. And it's like the season's filming has been compromised due to the pandemic.
Hmm.
So as we've seen in all the other franchises, it's like that old piece of bubble gum that you have in your mouth and you just don't want to throw away because you ain't got nothing else to eat or drink. And you
Hmm.
keep on chewing and chewing and chewing and chewing until it's like sawdust. That's what they're doing with these non-existent storylines. Because for me, the Jackie Teresa thing is a non-existent storyline.
True. And is it me? I know there's 6 women on this show, but does it feel undercast a little bit? Like I could use another wife and another friend or two. And Michelle doesn't count for me because she's auditioning. So
But do we have friends? We don't have friends.
Michelle is the friend for this season.
She's really?
Yeah,
But Margaret's assistant has been on screen more than Michelle.
but Michelle was before the season started. It was reported that Michelle was in the running to become a new housewife. So she's not. She has to be a friend because I have a feeling she's gonna gain more screen time.
I hope not, because I don't really like her.
But this, you know what this was? You know what this show is missing? It's missing like a friend like Marlo. Like you feel like she's a wife, but you know she's a friend,
Mm-hmm.
and she's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know more about
But
the
there's
assistant.
also an air of mystery to Marlo that's kept us hanging on all of these years.
Yeah, cause we just want to know if it was Ted Turner. That's all we really want to know.
That and we want to know where she getting her coin from. And if she
That's
paid her
it.
Neiman Marcus bill.
Right. She's interesting and she's fun. I think Jersey needs another wife and another interesting friend because this this cast just seems like we're not getting enough content. That's all.
And you know what it is? Jackie's missing too. Jackie's not really
True.
filming with the collective. She
That's fair.
separated herself. So we are technically one man down.
True.
Mm. Oh my goodness. Lisa, make sure you take care of yourself. Let's see. On Sister Wives had me crying. Really? We were funny. That who did we roast? Oh, probably
Cody.
Cody.
But we're I think what it is for us, um, we don't really see it as roasting. We're just seeing it as being honest and not being afraid to have an opinion. My thought has always been if you're going to like do commentary, you have to be honest and you have to be able to see both sides. You should be able to say, "Hey, this is what I believe, but this is what I see." So like, and I can also see where this person's coming from. That's all.
Mhm.
I think that's what
Yeah.
it should be. You can't dance around things like, well, I'm afraid to have an opinion. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I don't consider it hurting someone's feelings when they put this on screen for international TV. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and you know the footage wasn't going to be that great because Cody and crew were in charge of their own iPhone footage, and it was god
Right.
awful. But I think this is the most telling footage because the veneer of production was ripped away, and we were
Mhm.
really seeing unleashed Cody act like Cody.
Exactly. That's with any reality
Um,
show, though. You have to, if you're gonna give, like I said, I'll go back to this. If you're gonna give commentary, be
mhm,
honest with your commentary. Say how you feel. It's you have a platform. It's okay to say what you feel. You don't have to be nasty or rude, but you shouldn't be afraid to say, "Hey, this is what I saw from my perspective. This is what I see," and that's it. It doesn't have to be. It's not about. I won't say it's not about making friends. It's about not being afraid to say what you need to say.
mhm. Well, guys, we are going to be back here in about 4 minutes to talk about Married
Right?
at First Sight, which will also be another crapshoot. So let us know your thoughts about New Jersey, Real Housewives of New Jersey, season 11, episode 5, Kiss My Peach, in the comment section below. You know, we do read them and respond to them. You guys have so much good information on these shows. And don't forget, give us a thumbs up because we asked you to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and most importantly, tell a friend. Come and join the conversation.
Thanks,
Um,
Montana.
oh, thanks, Montana. Yay. And yes, Teresa was flirting with Joe on the phone. And he told her, yeah, you look good for an old hooch.
Right? I was like, oh, I was like, no.
Got to get that insult in there somehow.
Exactly.
Okay, so until next time, bye.
Bye.